Our journey is coming to an end. We are back in Manila, where everything began. A final chapter in a capital that many travelers only pass through. A city often overlooked, reduced to a simple stopover. Yet Manila deserves our time. Between the towers of Makati, the narrow streets of Intramuros, the peaceful gardens of Rizal Park, and the symbols of a nation in full transformation, we discover a vibrant, contrasting city, the reflection of an entire archipelago in motion. Our final stop begins in Makati, the neighborhood where we set down our bags. Here, contrasts are everywhere. On Burgos Street, the energy never slows. Residents eat at small street stands set up along the sidewalks. The traffic never truly stops, and the air is filled with the smell of grilled food, oil, and overripe fruits. It's a lively, raw neighborhood where modernity sits side by side with everyday life. Walking towards Bonifacio Street and the Makati Mendayolong Bridge, the silhouette of the towers rises above the Pasig River. On the other side, the view opens onto old Manila. Dense, chaotic, the new city facing the older districts, still marked by the past. Further down Coronado Street, life seems to slow down. Children play in puddles on a small paved lot, turned into an improvised playground. A man sets up his fruit and vegetable stall under a makeshift shelter while a tricycle rolls by, its horn gently beeping. In Makati, everything is under construction. Buildings rise from the ground, roads widen, infrastructure modernizes. Manila is transforming, driven by a vast urban development plan meant to ease congestion and create new economic centers. Beneath the apparent disorder, you can feel a deep energy. From Makati, we head toward Manila's historic center. Facing the vast Rizal Park stands an imposing and elegant building, the National Museum of Anthropology. Built between 1916 and 1918 by Canadian-American architect Ralph Harrington Doane, the museum features a neoclassical design emblematic of the American colonial period. Its grand facade, marked by tall Corinthian columns, massive pilasters, and arched windows, perfectly illustrates the monumental vision that American urban planners once had for the Philippine capital. Originally the headquarters of Department of Finance, the building was later converted into a museum. The National Museum of Anthropology is part of a larger museum complex that includes three major institutions: the National Museum of Fine Arts, the National Museum of Natural History, and the Museum of Anthropology itself. Together, they form the cultural heart of the Philippine heritage, a space dedicated to knowledge memory and transmission. Inside, the galleries trace the ethnological and archaeological history of the Philippines through fascinating collections, prehistoric tools, ritual objects, traditional textiles, and living testimonies from indigenous communities. Each hall reveals a fragment of this rich cultural mosaic, where ancestral traditions blend with diverse influences. This place, both solemn and vibrant, embodies the pride of a people, aware of their history and confidently looking towards the future, a space where the past and modernity coexist in harmony. At the center of the plaza stands a Sentinel of Freedom, a bronze statue, nearly 10 meters tall, representing Lapu-Lapu, the Filipino hero who resisted the Spanish conquistadors during the Battle of Mactan in 1521. Gazing towards the sea, he symbolizes freedom and the resilience of the Filipino people, a powerful tribute to the first defenders of independence. In the center of Manila, on the edge of Intramuros and the major national museums, lies Rizal Park, also known as Luneta Park. It's one of the most emblematic places in the Philippines, at once a green space, a memorial site, and a symbol of the nation. From the entrance, a solemn atmosphere takes hold. Pathways lined with Philippine flags lead to a monument that is modest yet filled with history. The memorial dedicated to José Rizal, writer, physician, and national hero, executed here in 1896 for advocating the independence of his country. Around the memorial, the park stretches across more than 60 hectares of lawns, gardens, and open squares. Children play, couples stroll, street vendors set up their stalls. A living portrait of everyday life in Manila. Rizal Park is not only a place for leisure, it's the symbolic heart of the capital, where history, nature, and national identity meet. Walking along its paths, we discover several gardens. A gate catches the eye. It marks the entrance to the Chinese garden, a peaceful interlude in the heart of the city. Just past the threshold, the city's noise fades away. The murmur of water, the songs of birds, the reflections of a pond dotted with lotus flowers. Everything here breathes harmony. Arched bridges stretch between the trees, leading to small pagodas surrounded by sculpted rocks. Inscriptions in Chinese characters recall the wisdom of the ancients, while a statue of Confucius watches over the place, a symbol of peace and knowledge. Gifted by Manila's Chinese community, this garden pays tribute to the cultural bond that has linked the Philippines and China for centuries. It's a simple, soothing space, a place to wander slowly between shade and light. Further ahead, the Japanese garden and the planetarium continue this atmosphere of calm and reflection. Across the road from Rizal Park rises Intramuros, the historic heart of Manila. This is where it all began, the original city, founded by the Spanish at the end of the 16th century, surrounded by high stone walls, built to defend against foreign attacks. To this day, these fortifications tell the story of more than 4 centuries of history. The main entrance is marked by an imposing statue, the Juan Luna Monument. A brilliant painter and a key figure of the Philippine revolutionary movement, Juan Luna is best known for his masterpiece Polarium, awarded the gold medal at the Madrid exhibition in 1884. But beyond the artist, it's a patriot who is honored here, a man who, despite imprisonment and exile, continued to defend the idea of a free and independent Philippine Republic. Behind the statue, the cobblestone streets of Intramuros immediately transport you to another era. On General Luna Street, horse-drawn carriages cross paths with modern tricycles, and colonial facades stand alongside administrative buildings such as the National Commission for Culture and the Arts and Pamantanzan University. Further ahead, the silhouette of the oldest stone church in the country rises, San Agustin Church, built between 1586 and 1607 by Augustinian monks. In the heart of Intramuros, San Agustin Church stands as the enduring witness to Philippine history. Its Baroque architecture, influenced by Spanish and Chinese styles, reflects the meeting of European culture and local craftsmanship. Behind its austere facade, adorned with ionic and columns, lies an interior of unexpected richness. The trompe-l'œil ceilings, painted in the 19th century, create the illusion of sculpted reliefs, while the large central dome bats the gilded altars and finely detailed stuccos in a soft light. San Agustin has endured centuries, wars, and natural disasters. It was the only building in Intramuros to survive the 1945 bombings, and it withstood numerous earthquakes and fires. More than a religious monument, it's a symbol of resilience. Its floors hold the tombs of prominent figures in Philippine history, including Miguel López de Legazpi, founder of Manila. Since 1993, it has been listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. To the left of the church, the former monastery now houses the San Agustin Museum. From the very first rooms, the scope of the collection is striking. Religious paintings, sculptures of saints, liturgical objects, manuscripts, ancient maps. The galleries unfold around a quiet, sunlit cloister. You move slowly, captivated with the feeling that the visit might never end. Behind each doorway, a new world appears, a journey through art, faith, and the influences that have shaped the Philippines. Among the most memorable rooms is the one dedicated to Father Francisco Manuel Blanco, a 19th century Augustinian missionary and botanist. His detailed drawings of tropical plants, taken from his work Flora de Filipinas, display remarkable precision and beauty, a testament to an era when science and faith still walked hand in hand. Further along, the museum's library continues to fascinate. Ancient books, manuscripts, and archives dating back to the Spanish era. all preserved in a place seemingly untouched by time, where we can still feel the quiet presence of scholars and monastic scribes. Stepping back into the cloister, silence returns. Here, the full scope of the site becomes clear. San Agustin Church and its museum form a unique ensemble, a place of worship, art, history, and knowledge. In one of the inner courtyards, we come across a small group rehearsing a dance performed with grace and focus. A simple, authentic moment in the very heart of the museum. Leaving the church, we continue through the cobblestone streets of Intramuros until we reach Plaza de Roma, one of the oldest squares in the capital. Formerly known as Plaza Mayor, it was once the center of Spanish colonial power, surrounded by the most prestigious buildings of the era. At its center stands a bronze statue of King Charles IV of Spain, installed in 1824 to honor the monarch for introducing the smallpox vaccine to the Philippines. Around the square, restored historic facades evoke the district's former grandeur. Wrought iron balconies, colonnades, and colored stone walls. The place has retained an elegant, solemn, almost theatrical atmosphere. Facing us rises the majestic Cathedral Basilica of the Immaculate Conception, better known as the Manila Cathedral. It's the spiritual heart of the city and the seat of Archdiocese. Its silhouette dominates the square, with its copper dome and neo-Romanesque facade rebuilt after World War II. It's a moment of pause in the heart of Intramuros, a place where colonial history and Catholic faith meet. Leaving Plaza de Roma, we continue toward the northern end of Intramuros. There, on the edge of the Pasig River, stands Fort Santiago, one of Manila's most historically significant sites. Built at the end of the 16th century by the Spanish, the fort served in turn as a citadel, prison, and military garrison. It was here that José Rizal, the Philippine national hero, was imprisoned before his execution in 1896. Even today, his name and his footsteps, engraved in stone, guide visitors through a path of remembrance. The ramparts, the moats, and the old gates still echo the fortress's former power. Below, the river stretches quietly. As we walk along the walls, the sky suddenly darkens. The wind rises, the first drops fall, and then rain pours down without warning, a true tropical downpour. We find shelter inside the fort, beneath the stone arcades, while thunder roars above Manila. The atmosphere becomes almost cinematic. The cobblestone glisten, palm trees bend under the rain, and the ramparts seem to come alive under the storm's grey light. And when calm finally returns, we realize that this sudden rain has suspended time, as if Fort Santiago, guardian of the past, has offered us one last scene before our journey through the Philippines comes to an end. Manila is also a young capital, where nearly 60% of the population is under 30. A dynamic youth carrying the energy and challenges of this ever-evolving metropolis. for many, Manila is just a layover, a stop between two flights, a passage before the beaches of Palawan, the hills of Bohol, or the waves of Siargao. And it's precisely for that reason that we wanted to explore it ourselves, even briefly. Because behind its reputation as a chaotic and noisy city, Manila hides a richness that is often overlooked. A vibrant capital, full of contrasts, where the old speaks to modern, where museums, centuries-old churches, markets and gardens each tell a different chapter of the country's story. It's a city that doesn't reveal itself at first glance, but rather step by step, through observation and time. Yet, most travelers pass through it without lingering. The traffic, the intensity, the sometimes overwhelming pace can leave an impression. But it's precisely within this apparent disorder that its soul lies, authentic, human, deeply rooted in the country's reality. Walking through its streets, visiting its museums, meeting its residents, one begins to understand what the Philippines truly are. Not only an archipelago of islands, but a land of stories and faces, of traditions and renewal. This final stop in Manila closes our journey like a natural circle. The Philippines offered us far more than landscapes. They offered us a lesson in simplicity, resilience, and beauty. See you soon for new discoveries.